Hey everybody, Guns here with another Marvel Heroes Omega PS4 informational video. The first one we did was on tips for leveling to 60. Now, if you're at 60 and you're not quite sure what to do, it's probably time to gear up. Now, gearing can be done in a number of ways. You can do Midtown Patrol. Midtown Patrol is a pretty good way to gear. You're going to get a lot of loot from killing a lot of stuff. There's rando boss waves that happen about every 3 minutes. You go and you beat them, you get some good stuff, you might get some artifacts out of it. Another way to gear up is to do operations. Operations are quick hits. You go through, you gotta beat up a bunch of dudes, there's a boss at the end. You also have these things called Bounty Hunter. So what Bounty Hunter is it's an objective you can meet, and when you kill the certain number of guys, like they want you to kill 100 guys here in the abandoned terminal, and when you do that, there's going to be a chest that spawns after you kill the boss called a bounty chest. Crack that chest open, you'll get some extra stuff out of it. I believe I may have talked about bounty chests in the leveling video. Maybe not. You get decent XP from them. Definitely items and stuff like that. Another way to get gear for your character is, I don't have to fly, I can just open the store. If you go down to consumables and you take a look at the shield supply boosts, gain shield supply boost for 30 minutes. Consuming more will raise the amount gained after 5 stacks, only the duration is increased. Defeat enemies to gain shield supply points. After collecting enough points, you earn a shield supply chest that contains an exciting variety of gear for your hero, including exclusive visual effect items and chances at select rare items in the game. So, if you get some of those, you use them up, you go out, you kill enemies anywhere in the game, you'll get shield points. Once you get enough, you get a chest, you pop open that chest, it's going to have gear in there for the character that you open it on. That's the important thing. The character you open it on. So, I'm on War Machine, so if I open a shield supply chest, I'll get a bunch of War Machine stuff. If I want to get Spider-Man stuff, I shouldn't open the supply chest on War Machine because I'm only going to get War Machine. Now, a few things, that's not the right screen, a few things you're going to want to look for when you're gearing a character is obviously increasing damage ratings, plus ratings to the particular talents that you're using for your build. So I'm playing primarily ranged, actually all ranged War Machine. So when looking for damage rating increases, I'm going to want to look for things like range, gun, cooldown, channeled, fire, explosive, burning, things like that. Make sure your damage ratings are good for the build that you're using. You also want to try to get things like brutal damage rating, critical damage rating, brutal strike rating, and critical hit rating. The higher your critical hit rating and brutal strike rating is, the better chance you have of getting critical hits and brutal strikes. And the damage rating, the critical damage rating and brutal damage rating, increases the severity of critical hits and brutal strikes. Also, you're going to want to get artifacts that are beneficial to your character as well. Things that increase, you know, the same affixes that I just mentioned. Brutal strike, critical hit, blah, 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 blah. Also, if you go to your skills and you hit triangle, it's going to bring up this traits tab. In the left panel, it's going to show you the 2 attributes that your character increases his damage off of. For War Machine, it says durability or strength. So, when looking for items that have +2 attributes, you want to make sure that the attributes that you have on items are geared towards a specific hero that you're playing. In the right panel, it shows you what 2 defensive types your character uses. In my case, defense and deflect rating. So when looking at defensive affixes on items, I'm going to want to focus on getting things that have defense or deflect rating on them. Then, when you're doing, if you're going to do, well, you want to do legendary quests so that you can make sure you have enough to come over to Clea and get a legendary item. A legendary item is an item that will get more powerful as it gains experience. And each legendary, at least on console, seems to be geared to a specific character or a specific couple of characters. So you're going to want to take a look at all the legendaries and see which one would benefit your character most, and then get that legendary. They cost 300 legendary marks, so you're going to be doing legendary quests for a little while you get them. After you do all that, you're going to want to look at modifying items. So, if we take a look at this Kevlar plated helmet that I got off Crossbones in Midtown, I have modified it with a marksman affix, which gives plus 300 damage rating to ranged powers and plus 200 strike rating. If you come over to the science crafter,
I'll tell you what I know.
You'll notice that she's got a whole bunch of different mods that you can put on artifacts. She's also got a whole bunch of enhancements you can put on your slot 1 through 5 items. Slot 1 through 5s would be these 5 items right here. Slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After you get all that done, obviously you want to make sure you have a full stack of relics, a good catalyst, and a good medallion that's geared towards the character that you're currently playing.
Stay friendly, Spidey.
Now, there are different tiers of items in the game you can get, and the higher the tier, the better. You'll notice I have a bunch of these yellow items on. These are cosmic items. Now, when you are at the waypoint and you want to go somewhere, if you hit square, it's going to bring up the difficulty slider. For each one of these difficulties, you have to beat a trial, and you're going to need increasingly better gear to beat them. Heroic is pretty easy, Super Heroic is harder, and Cosmic is the hardest difficulty in the game, but that's where you're going to find the best loot. So if you want to min-max your loot, your character, you're going to have to try and get into Cosmic difficulty. It's kind of difficult though, so you're going to have to be relatively well geared in order to do it. And that is some quick tips about gearing up your character at level 60. I hope you guys appreciate these videos. I hope that they're helpful for at least one person. If one person finds these videos helpful, then I'm cool with that. As always, if you like it, hit me with a like, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.